Yes, hello. Welcome to the Avi Yemini Advisory and Information Service. My name's Tom Tanuki. How may I help you? I don't like to talk about this weasel too much. I try to space out my Avi Yemini videos to once every few months, or as the need arises. It's a bit like self-care. And when I do, sometimes I turn off notifications for a bit because Avi Yemini has 100,000 people following him, and they're all a certain kind of person, and they all pour in and they comment non-stop on my content for days, weeks, sometimes months. As the Avi Yemini Advisory and Information Service, my primary function is to pop up every few months as a free public service and tell you when Avi Yemini has lied. Well, he lies all the fucking time. That's his entire existence. But really, I just seize on the times when his lies are funny enough for me to be fucked talking about. Last time, you may recall that I did a video on Avi being carried away by coppers at Invasion Day, and I'll link that video in the description. Now, it turned out on that day that Avi and Rebel News, his media outlet that he works for, knew that he was going to get arrested. Which he wasn't. He was just let out after a police ride. Just like every protest he's ever been detained and carted off at for 3 years. Same thing. But nevertheless, they used that as an opportunity to beg for donations, as though donations will somehow stop an arrest from happening after it's happened, even though it hasn't happened. The funny thing about that was that an enterprising internet user determined that Rebel News set up the inevitable donation beg for his arrest hours before the rally. And that's funny, and that's what my last video was about. But even though I was merely telling the truth, I still got hundreds or maybe even thousands of mad as fuck Avi Yemini fans attacking me. Me, the Avi Yemini Advisory and Information Service, a free public service. Now, bro, let's be real. This is what every single Avi Yemini follower looks like, and you know it. Every single one. A divorcee dad whose daughter won't talk to him anymore. He's got many skeletons in the closet, a lot of regrets that keep him awake at night, and half of his family have blocked him on Facebook since 2016. Okay? That's all of them. But when I attack Avi Yemini, they all think that I'm attacking them personally, because Avi has positioned himself as a martyr figure for them. Because Avi's followers, they bond with him through this kind of shared insecurity and trauma. So, for example, when Avi humiliates a 12-year-old girl on camera at a climate rally, for example, they don't mind because they get to feel like they are humiliating by proxy their own estranged daughter, who won't talk to them anymore because of the things they said about Black Lives Matter at last Christmas lunch. So Avi Yemini serves a kind of emotional purpose for them, a function. He helps them to feel like they were right to burn bridges with their estranged daughter. So when I merely tell them about how he is grifting them, remember, not me, I'm not the one donating, they are, they still get mad at me because they need Avi. Avi's most genius move, I don't even know if he knows he did it, but his most genius move was to kind of position himself as this emotional crutch to help his divorcee dad followers feel less bad about wrecking their family life, just like he did. Now, I am back to tell you about another funny Avi lie. This one already went around some time ago on Twitter and Facebook, but I believe it needs to be committed to video too, because Avi Yemini fans, they only watch videos, they don't read things. And it is my duty, whether I like it or not, as the Avi Yemini Advisory and Information Service, to reach out to all of these divorcee dads. This is kind of like community outreach, which is my passion. So let's go back in time to the material covered in my last video and recall that Avi Yemini insisted in that Divi Van donation big video that he had a big official federal government press pass.
I'm right now in the back of a police car. I've been arrested. I came with my accredited the federal accreditation from the government.
Let's hear a little more about that. Here's some more insistences from Avi on the same day to the same effect as he was getting carted off by the coppers.
I'm being arrested. I've asked if I'm under arrest a couple times and I'm being forcibly ejected. I've got my national media press card, which is issued, the accreditation issued by the federal government. So right now a journalist is being physically removed from doing his job.
Interesting. So, real proper journalist, died for our sins, arrested and all, can't even do the journalisms anymore. The question is, what's going on with that pass? Here's a better picture of that pass. What is the thing? Do the federal government really issue press passes like that? Well, enterprising internet users endeavour to find out what the fuck that pass actually is. And it turns out it's not a press pass of any sort. What it is a National Visits Media Card. And that's issued by the Department of Home Affairs. It entitles you to cover visits by foreign dignitaries in Australia if you're already press. Now, this is all that Avi actually has, it seems, which would lead you to assume that he doesn't actually have a proper press pass. He's certainly not registered with the MEAA, the Union for Journalists, which makes sense because that kind of thing is, after all, for dirty communists. And back to the world of enterprising internet users, who are the real hero of the story here, because they, several among them, actually contacted the Department of Home Affairs to inquire about the veracity of Avi's press pass. Here's their response. It's great. Thank you for your correspondence of 18th of January 2021. An NVMC identifies the holder as a person with a legitimate media interest in the visit of a foreign dignitary. The attempted use of the NVMC by Mr. Yemini to cover other events not associated with the visit of a foreign dignitary constitutes a breach of the conditions of use. Accordingly, the NVMC issued to Mr. Yemini has been cancelled. We are taking relevant actions to have the NVMC issued to Mr. Yemini returned. So, in order to buff out your credentials as a journalist, which fundamentally you're not, we all know you've been oppressed for years, those of us who've cared to pay any kind of attention, you get a pass that's not really a press journalism pass at all, and then you insist that that validates your work, which is still just being a pest as it was years ago. It's just with a more fancy Rebel News microphone now. And when you get carted off, you show everyone your pass, so that everyone can look it up and find out that it's not a press pass, and now that's being revoked. So you can't even wave your fake press pass, which was not a press pass, around. And I think that is funny. And that's why this video was worth making, because that makes Avi look stupid and like a liar yet again, and that makes me come. No, it doesn't make me come. But it does make me laugh, because I enjoy his stupidity. But in saying all this, let's be real with each other. The pass was never meant to be a real proper accreditation or to really entitle Avi to anything or to shield him from liability or arrest in the real world in any, material or substantial way. Here's what the pass was. It was a prop, a fancy stage prop for videos. It was to bolster the journalism angle that Avi has profited from with, donation bags and that kind of thing with his very uncritical audience of divorcee dads for so long. He has figured out a way to benefit from his years of repeat detainments under VicPol's breach of the peace rules. And make no mistake, those rules are leveraged against a very small group of people. And Avi Yemini is one of only this small handful of people, a small brigade of grifters, because he is one of people who is considered by VicPol and has been for years to breach the peace by attending protests to agitate protesters. That's why they detain him and take him off down the road without arresting him, remember, for breach of the peace. He has been doing this, let's not forget, since 2017. He is known very well to VicPol. They do not target all journalists like this. In fact, I don't think they really target any other journalists like this. They don't target journalists, but they do target pests like Avi Yemini. But I also have to remember that Avi's fans don't need or want proof from him, nor do they want debunking videos from me. They just need to participate in this weird little shared martyrdom circle jerk of figures like Avi. You know, he could bring along a My Little Pony lanyard with the word media written on it in whiteout, and they wouldn't care. You know, they just want to see him trigger their daughter on camera at the Invasion Day rally to get her back for daring to block his mobile number after he wouldn't shut up in texts about gender-neutral toilets after last Christmas family gathering. And if you are one of those Avi fans, I just want you to know that, yes, this video, it might make you mad, but that doesn't mean it's not true. Just because I dislike Avi Yemini doesn't mean I'm lying. In fact, I'm not lying. He's lying. You're the one who chooses to believe it. And getting mad at me, the Avi Yemini Advisory and Information Service, might make you feel like you've done Avi a solid, but it won't bring your daughter back. Only an honest apology would do that. Sorry, Dad. Thank you for supporting the Avi Yemini Advisory and Information Service. Please like, share, subscribe, like, share, like, subscribe, and share and subscribe and like. I am a citizen journalist, and if you support me via Patreon, I'll take something to the Supreme Court and I'll give someone some sort of petition or something, and I'll make everything okay, and I'll stop the communist dictatorship, and your daughter will forgive you. So please support me now, please. Thank you, please.